So awesome. Welcome, welcome everybody. Me and Kylie, we're both the Kylie. So this is going to be kind of funny. Just like doing this with someone who has the same name as me. I've never done that before. So tonight we're going to be sharing with you guys, of course, if you're on live or you're listening to the recording, you know, we're talking about the business tonight. So if you have a glass of wine, if you have some tea, just come hang out. We like to be casual and chill and fun. So we're going to fill you in on our stories. We're also going to tell you a little bit more about Arbonne, kind of how it works, and a little bit more about our company itself. So you guys will learn a little bit more, but also feel free to ask any questions. We are total open books. And if there's something that you're not really sure you want to ask in the chat, you can go ahead and ask your friend, whoever invited you to this, and they will fill you in on everything, okay? So I'm really excited you guys are here because whoever you are, obviously someone thinks really highly of you because nobody gets invited if they're not like super fun, super outgoing, like super ambitious, super positive. You know, we get to kind of like ask anyone that we think we would have fun working with. So take it as a compliment. Whoever invited you thinks very highly of you. So I'm going to start with telling you guys a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to tell you guys a little bit just kind of how the business works, and then I'm going to pass it to Kylie Steyer. So my name is Kylie Romashko, and I'm 27 years old. I live in Edina, Minnesota, which is just a little bit outside of the Twin Cities. In Minnesota with my husband, Zach. And I grew up in a very, very small town in Wisconsin. It was about 3,000 people that lived there, the kind of town where everybody knows each other. You go to the grocery store to get one thing and you see 5 people you know, and they ask you a bunch of questions. And in some ways that was really great. And in other ways, I was so excited to go to college because I was like, no one's gonna know me. And like, I just can dream so big. And I was so excited for college. I was like, everyone kept, everyone, when you graduate high school, they're like, the world is your oyster. And I'm like, it is. And I just was like so excited to see what was waiting for me beyond high school. So I went into college and I knew I wanted to do business right away. So I started double majoring in management and marketing, and I minored in business admin. And I also was a waitress about 30 plus hours a week. And I also was leading an organization in my school that gave back. So I had a very full plate. But I do think a lot of the time when our plates are full, we kind of like are a lot better at prioritizing things. So I actually really was happy with the way that my life looked. I really liked that. So throughout the years in college, I started using Arbonne products, and I was like, these are the best. And I was telling everybody all the time, okay? And so we're gonna kind of circle back to that piece, but I kept telling everybody. And it was natural, right? When you like something, you're telling your friends about it because you're like, girl, I'm just trying to help you out. Like, this is the best protein ever and you need it. And I really felt that to my core, and I still do. So it was really natural for me to share it with people. And I was using the products for a while, right? And then eventually the business was shared with me. And I was like, again, we'll circle back to this, why this was such an aha moment for me. But all I could think was, what a novel idea that this is. And also I was 21 years old, and I really appreciate that I was so young, because I think sometimes the older we get, we don't always believe in that the world is your oyster thing, because we get older and we're like, what are people going to say about me if I try something new, even if it's not this, if it's anything, we're like, what are they going to say about me? Or am I going to be good at this? We have a lot of fears based around doing something new the older we get. And I'm really grateful that I was only 21. So I jumped in, and I just kind of had fun for the first couple of years, and that's okay. It was totally okay that I was in there for fun. I was doing all right. I would call it a really fun, semi-lucrative side hustle. It was good for me. I still had a job when I graduated college. I got jobs. We kind of moved around. But the pinnacle point that changed everything for me was when I got a job that I really didn't like. I was in a really rough job. My boss was like a little crazy, and it was not a great environment. And it was the kind of job that you go home every day in tears. And I was just so upset every day. And I was like, I cannot do this anymore. And I just kept looking at everybody, and I kept saying, like, if these people can be successful, why couldn't I be successful? I'm not afraid of hard work. And I knew if I want to do this for real, it's going to be hard work. But I know I'm not afraid of hard work because I've done hard work before. And the hard work I was doing was not really worth it, in my opinion, because, again, it was a really bad environment. So I quit my job, and I decided I was going to go all in. So I went all into my business. I worked extremely hard. My team worked extremely hard. And we did promote to regional vice president. And you can learn more about what that is on earnings.arbonne.com. For me at that point, I did feel personally comfortable at that level and not having another job. So Arbonne is what I do now. It is my career, and I have a huge passion for teaching other people how to do this business on any scale. And I know Kylie does too. And like anyone that you're working with in Arbonne feels the exact same way. So that's a little bit about me. And I'm going to kind of break down why I had such an aha moment when the business was explained to me, because now it's something that you see every single day. And it's not necessarily network marketing, but it's kind of the same thing. So the way that the business was described to me was, okay, you're already recommending products, right? And you're telling people to purchase these, and they're going through someone else. And, you know, I was telling them to go to a different consultant because I was just a client. So I said, yeah, you can buy it from so-and-so. So I was doing all the work. I was like, you guys, this is the best. And like, they would want to purchase it. They purchased it from someone else. That someone else was getting commissions because I was doing work, right? So then they were like, you know what, if you just opened your doors and you said you were going to be a consultant, you would be giving that recommendation and you would be earning commission on those orders when they shop with you. And I was like, duh, like, you guys, it's an influencer. It's the same thing. So I thought it was so crazy because it's kind of the same, you know, when you follow influencers and they say, oh my gosh, this is my favorite tumbler. Use code Sarah for 10% off. And, you know, of course, you're going to get a deal as a client, which is so great. It's so exciting. And then Sarah is also going to get a little bit of commission because she's the one that recommended it to you. And that's literally exactly what we do. I'm recommending products. Our team is recommending products. And when people purchase from us, we are getting a commission, and we can help people get discounts through our preferred client membership program. And that's a huge win. I love that we have that. And it is free signups this month with a qualifying order for that, which is a really big deal. So that really is kind of how it works. So we utilize social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I see people that I don't have TikTok. I don't know about you guys, but you can really utilize it in whatever way you want. We teach you the ropes, you learn everything, and you have the space to kind of make it your own and be creative and be imaginative. And I think that that's the best thing about this is that you do have an outline. We're going to hold your hand and teach you what to do, but you're going to make it your own and you're going to have fun with it. So it really is utilizing social media. And to remind you, you do not need, you know, most influencers have like 10,000 followers. I do not. I nowhere near that. So, and I don't know about Kylie either, but like, I would say most people I know in Arbonne that are successful have a very modest like Instagram following. So it's kind of nice that there's not some prerequisite of, oh, you got to be a huge deal to be successful at Arbonne, because you don't. So the last thing I'll leave you guys with, and then I'll pass it to Kylie Steyer, is a quote that I think is really, really true, is that you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And I think that sometimes we're like, well, I'm not ready. I don't know what I'm doing. You're probably never going to know what you're doing. You're probably never going to feel completely ready. But if you dive in, someone's going to help you become, you know, what you would consider the greatest version of yourself. And we're there to help. So I'm going to pass it to Kylie Steyer, and she is going to tell you guys a little bit more.
Okay, yay. Thank you so much. Yeah. And you know, what's funny about the whole like Instagram following thing is when I first started my business, I started following I mean, millennials were like, this was like the brand new like peak of millennials, and they were blowing up this business. And I remember looking at their Instagrams, I'm like, oh my gosh, like some of the NVPs have like 30,000 something followers. Every time they speak, they say literally 98% of their following is Arbonne. So that is something that should never intimidate you. Yeah, that is absolutely not something that should ever intimidate you. So really quick before I dive into my story, the thing that I cannot talk enough about with this business is the community. Okay, so Kylie and I's business do not affect each other in any way, shape, or form, but yet we are friends, and we connected solely through, I mean, we would not know each other if it weren't for Arbonne. I love that I can literally travel to almost any state and have an Arbonne sister there. Like, the community is literally, I always tell people, if I could just plug you into our community for 24 hours, like, you would be sold. So I was super excited to do this with her. And you guys, it's the weirdest thing. We are basically the same person, and not just because we have the same name. Like, some of the things we have in common are just bizarre. And it was funny. I posted, sorry, I'm going off on tangent. This is really funny. So when we had posted, Kylie had posted a live yesterday talking about how we were speaking together today. And one of my friends commented on it, was like, aren't you wearing that same nail color? And I just took it off yesterday, but I had like the light blue on my nails. I'm like, this is just so funny. So I will go ahead and dive in, you guys. So Hello, my name is Kylie. I'm super excited to share with you all tonight just something that I am super passionate about and something that I cannot say enough about how much it has genuinely changed my entire life and my family's entire life. I'm 27 years old. I've been married for 3.5 years. I'm a mom to a little boy that'll be 2 next week, which is crazy. And I am expecting my second. So I'm about just shy of 15 weeks. Our second's due in January. And I just celebrated my 2-year Arbonne anniversary in April. So prior to Arbonne, I went to school. I graduated in 2015 with a bachelor's degree in psychology and criminal justice. And now looking back, I think it's crazy. You guys at 18, they're like, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? Because I had no idea. I thought I did. But at that point in time, all I knew is I was passionate about giving back to the substance abuse and mental health community. And I loved kids. So right out of undergrad, I literally got the hardest possible big girl job you can think of. And I started working in child welfare. Okay. Like first big girl job, child welfare. I look back and I'm like, okay, life was going to knock you on your rear end really quick. So I found that I loved kids in a way that I honestly spent majority of my lunch hours just crying in my car. And I joke with my husband, I'm like, it's probably a good thing they didn't let me take any kids home because we would probably have a house just exploding with children at this point. So I did that for 1 year. And then after that, for the next 2 years, I worked at a substance abuse and mental health treatment center. And I tried working with men for like 13 seconds. I'm like, no, men are working with men, not for me. Worked with women, just women, moms. And you guys, I was in a place in my life where I was so content. I'm like, okay, I love my job. I'm passionate about it. I loved my coworkers. I loved the company I was working for. I honestly loved the clients I was working with. And I just was content. I feel like I had kind of checked the boxes. I'm like, okay, I went to school for 4 years, got my degree, found a job that was using that degree, and now I'm going to start chipping away at my student loans. Had just gotten married. So I really felt like, okay, like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to. And I did not think anything of it. And it wasn't until it was November 2018, my husband and I found out that we were expecting our little guy. And you guys, this was like not a surprise. However, at that point in time, I'm like, is this it? Like I am working all the time. I was driving at least an hour to and from work every day. On top of a lot of the times I was working 12-hour shifts. So you guys, I was gone for 14 hours. And I remember being like, once I got over the high of like, oh my gosh, we're pregnant, we're building our family, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm never going to be home. Like my role, I remember feeling so disheartened because I'm like, man, I have wanted to be a mom my whole life. And this is not going to look the way I thought it would or the way that I wanted it to. And I was working for a nonprofit. So majority of what I would have been making was going to be going to daycare because daycare is really, really, really expensive. So I just kept thinking, if I don't make a change, I am going to forever be trading time for money. And I'm going to have a kiddo that grows up with a mom that's always gone. And I'm going to miss out on just all of these like little things that I did not want to miss out on. And so at that point in my life, I had no idea what to do because the kicker is when you are pregnant, you cannot leave your job or you will lose all your benefits and all of your maternity leave. If you go into a job pregnant, that is considered a like predetermined condition or like something crazy. So you don't get, I would have gotten no maternity leave and none of the benefits with having a baby if I would leave my job. So I was stuck. I literally was stuck. And I just remember tossing around literally everything you could think of. You guys, like, does, my husband get a second job? Just all of these things. But I finally was like, what? I'm just going to pray. Like, that's the only thing I have control over. And I was not specific. I was like, God, I need something. I need something that will allow me to make some money from home. I did not care if I was passionate about it. I was willing to trade passion for a paycheck. I just needed something. And when I was first introduced to Arbonne, you guys, I had honestly lost track of the number of network marketing companies had approached me And I was very turned off by it. I thought, things like this and girls like that are desperate. They have nothing better to do. And honestly, my heart kind of went out to them a little bit because I'm like, oh, she's like got these big dreams and it's just not going to work. And that sounds so bad, but that's literally what I thought. But then one of my best friends started doing this business. And I'm like, okay, I know that she's not one of those girls. I trust her judgment wholeheartedly. And I'm like, I got to support her in some way, shape, or form. So I immediately fell in love with the products, and I will come back to that. But just the ingredient policy and how clean they were. So first time mom, 6 months pregnant, I was like, okay, we're throwing away everything in our home and replacing it with Arbonne. But what got me to take a serious look at the business is that this is something I could build alongside what I was already doing. And it was something I could start that day. It was not something where I had to wait until, after my maternity leave was up and I went back to work and then I started something to try to get out of that. This wasn't something that I would, okay, let's quit your job and hope this works out so that way we can provide during maternity leave. This was something that I could say, okay, I have 3 months till this baby's coming. If I jump in now, where can I be in 3 months? And then I have 3 months of maternity leave. Where can I get in the 3 months after that? So I'm like, okay, I have 6 months to make an income. And at that point in time, I'm like, I just want to be able to work part-time closer to home. So once my maternity leave was up, I was able to go back to work part-time at a Pilates studio close to my home. And you guys, going from working in a substance abuse and mental health treatment center to a Pilates studio, I remember the first couple of months, I'm like, when is something going to happen? Like, when is something crazy and exciting? Like, that was just so outside of my realm of what I was used to. But kind of a fun fact, my mentor in Arbonne went to a booth while I was pregnant and met the owner of this Pilates studio who was looking to hire. She's like, you got to meet my, friend Kylie. She's, this, that, and the other. And 8 months pregnant, I walked in and interviewed for the job at the Pilates studio, and they held that job for me until I was done with maternity leave. So this has literally changed my life. And then from there, as of January, I'm like, you know what? My kiddo's hitting the age where he's like a little person that can talk to me and interact with me. I'm like, I don't want to miss any of this. And so, like Kylie mentioned, I definitely had a shift in my business, and my team and I hit the regional vice president level that she was referring to as well. And I felt comfortable taking a step back from working. So now Arbonne is my thing. I say Arbonne and keeping a 2-year-old alive because God bless, he is a full-time job in and of itself in the absolute best way. And you guys, I don't say anything to impress you, but to just simply impress upon you that I was the ultimate skeptic, and I saw Arbonne for what it truly is because I asked questions and I got to know more. So really quick, for those of you that are on here and you're like, okay, they keep talking about Arbonne, what even is Arbonne? How are they different? Because you guys, I know there's a million health and wellness companies out there, but here's what makes us so different. The number one thing is truly our ingredient policy. So we follow the European guidelines. So in Europe, they ban 1,200 to 1,400 ingredients. The US bans 14, so 1-4, and Arbonne bans 2,000 ingredients from their products. The reason that is so important is every single ingredient in our products is getting into our bloodstream within 26 seconds. So again, first time mom, 6 months pregnant, I'm like, absolutely not. We are throwing everything away. I remember literally within 48 hours, I took all the Johnson & Johnson we'd got at the baby showers in this huge gift bag and took it back to Target. My husband's like, this girl is off her rocker, but he's like, okay, whatever you say. So our products are extremely clean. Our brain philosophy embraces the connection between a healthier mind, a stronger body, and more beautiful skin. So we're really focusing on, and you guys, what affects your mind affects your skin, affects your health, affects your entire body. Everything ties together. And that's what we focus on with our products. We also are B Corp certified. And I remember when they announced that, everyone's like, woo, yeah, got so excited. And then I was like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't even know what that is, but everyone's super excited about it. So I'm going to cheer too. But what that means, it's a huge deal. So This certification is for businesses that meet the highest standards to balance profit and purpose. So just basically, we're a community with a mission that uses our business as a force for good. We're also huge into sustainability, decreasing waste. We have a partnership with TerraCycle. I mean, just all of that fun stuff. All of our products are certified vegan. You don't have to be a vegan. It just means there's no animal byproducts in our products. Certified vegan, certified gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, no artificial sugars or sweeteners, no dyes or fragrances. And then if you are someone that is about convenience, which that is me, we are a one-stop shop with over 400 products. I love that I have one brand that I know, love, and trust that I can get everything from. I'm not having to go to this store for my nutrition and this store for my toothpaste and deodorant and then stopping at Ulta for my makeup. I can get everything from Arbonne. Skincare, nutrition, bath and body, cosmetics, men's line, baby line, spa, essential oils, hair care, personal care products. And what also ties into that, you guys, I was already using those products anyway. So with Arbonne, I never had to invest a ton of money to, start doing something I wasn't already doing. I was already brushing my teeth and wearing deodorant. I was already putting on makeup, washing my face. And when I run out of those things, I don't just decide, to give up hygiene for the rest of my life. You reorder them. And so regardless of if you decide to do Arbonne, if you ever consider something like this, you guys, I highly, highly, highly encourage you, get into something that is going to be sustainable, because you can only have so many bags and so many jewelry and so much this, whereas people have to reorder these things. You can't run out of them and just never use them again. Let me see. Let me go over. We are both notes people too. So that's totally what I am just making sure there's nothing I have missed. I don't think so. Do you have anything that there's one thing I want to add, you guys, and I always mention this, and I know some people probably cringe when I do, but the term pyramid scheme, I always bring it up because 9 times out of 10, there's probably someone thinking it in the back of their mind. So I'm like, okay, let's just, throw it all out into the open. First of all, we are a part of the Direct Sellers Association. So we do have strict rules and guidelines, you guys. It's not a free-for-all, but like the main thing that makes us not a pyramid scheme is I could have literally 10 girls join my team tomorrow. Arbonne does not send me a penny for any of those people. So we make absolutely no money on, I hate the term recruitment, but we make no money on recruitment. We make no money on people simply joining our team. The only thing we make money on is products sold. Obviously, the more product I sell, the more people I teach and train how to build a business where they're selling products, the more product that's going to be sold, the more money that's going to be made. But the only way I'm successful and my business grows is if I help other people do the same. And so I always tell people, I do not benefit from trying to pressure you into doing something you're not ready to do, because I get nothing out of that unless I help you be successful. And that's the same thing with our products too, you guys, with our 45-day money back guarantee. If people hate it, they send it back. So it makes no sense, because for me, I'm like, I don't want to be a salesperson. That was a huge hesitation for me, because I just felt like I didn't want to be pushy. I didn't want to pressure anyone. If they don't like it, they can send it back. So there's no point to us pressuring someone to use something. Otherwise, I would just say, like, kind of in closing, and then Kylie, if you have anything that you want to add, to you guys tonight, whether you're a guest on here or whether you're a consultant, I just hope that you walk away from this having learned something new, but also just feeling empowered to ask yourself, if I keep doing what I'm doing, where will I be in 5 years? And I say, even if you're a consultant, because maybe you're in kind of a slump in your business, or maybe you're just kind of treating it like a hobby, or maybe you're just, wherever you're at in your life, I hope you feel empowered to just ask yourself, where will I be in 5 years if I keep doing what I'm doing? And if you don't like that you feel inspired to do something. So I think that's all I have. Kylie, do you have anything that you want to add?
I will add one little note, because I didn't say this before, but if you're a guest on here, ask your friend about how you can get registered as a consultant for free this month with a qualifying order. Yeah. So if you're listening to the recording of this, it's normally and it's not July anymore. It's normally $49 to get started, which is just like insane to me that, like you said, Kylie, it's like $49 to start. You're already purchasing products that you would be using in the first place. So it's like pretty insane. So ask your friend about that. And that's kind of all I have. But I think everything Kylie said, so true. And to really echo on what she said about community, hands down best community ever. Like people who are all in Arbonne, who it's like their full-time thing, people who are like, oh, I have fun with this. Everyone is just so welcoming and so fun. And I think that that's like such a game changer. And we need more of that in the world. And it's just women supporting women. And I think it's really insanely awesome. So that is all I have to say.
Yay. Okay. That was so fun. I loved it. We're like getting off of this Zoom and scheduling another one. So, okay. Thank you everyone so much that came and hung out with us this evening and took some time. I love seeing kids pop in and out because I'm like, yes, that is exactly what this is all about. Like you don't have to just have like the perfect space to sit and be quiet because that's just not realistic. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Otherwise everyone have a happy, what day is it? Thursday. Everyone have a happy Thursday.